I've got here is a Canada Dry Fruit Splash Cherry Ginger Ale. I'm pretty sure I have not reviewed this one yet. Not bad. Definitely cherry-ish, but you're getting the ginger ale in there as well, so I feel like the ginger ale might be overpowering the cherry flavor a bit. But I don't think I've ever done an actual regular ginger ale review, have I? It's a nice blend. I like that. It's nice and crisp, and it's a little, it's refreshing too, which is nice. Ginger ale for me typically would be, even though you wouldn't think it would be. I got this from IGA in Massapequa. I went out to Massapequa yesterday to pick up my stomach pills, and thankfully I got a 90-day supply, so I'll be good for down in North Carolina before, I go find another doctor down there and have to work things out down there, obviously. But I've wanted to walk through the town again. I went by my friend's house it was last week, and I got out a little early, and I don't know why this is auto-focusing. It seems to do that from time to time. It's strange, actually. But I walked a little bit, but yesterday I walked more. I took I forget when I got out there, but I had 2 hours. Before the train came back. Took the train out here. I like this one, actually. I think I might go a 9 on this. I know that's going a little high, maybe, but I like that taste. Like, it's nice, not an overpowering taste on either side, so it's a nice blend of both. You kind of get the hints of cherry in there without being too much. It actually adds, surprisingly adds. I didn't know how this would taste, but it adds some nice little wrinkle to the regular ginger ale. Maybe I'm overrating that, but I actually really like that up on first. So I would have that again. I like it. They both blend together nicely, and it's refreshing. I'll continue to drink that. And anyway, so I'm taking a walk, and that's where, you're getting a little to myself. Just because I lived in that town for so long, like, I go back there and it's like, oh, I've walked these streets, I've walked all over Massapequa. It's a fairly big town, so, you're looking at certain houses, and when I'm going into the woods area, just remembering all the times I'd be walking or riding to garage sales, just taking walks in these areas and stuff, and, it was tough. And then I'm hearing a helicopter just hovering. I'm like, oh, it must be an accident on Sunrise Highway or something. And then I'm walking the roads up past the train tracks, and in my mind I'm trying to remember if they found the Gilgo Beach killer or whatever. His house is in Massapequa. Of course he lived in Massapequa. And I'm like, what street is it on again? I'm like, I think it might be First or Broadway. And I'm walking, all of a sudden I see kind of those blockade things. People put them up for block parties at the end of the streets. And I'm like, what the hell's on a block party on a freaking Tuesday? Then all of a sudden I see the cameras and stuff, and I'm walking like right through, not the actual street, First Avenue's here, and then I'm walking through, I think it's Michigan Avenue. And all of a sudden there's a state trooper blocking off the one side of the street. There's a Suffolk County command unit investigators. It looks like there's other cops floating around. The helicopter is gone now, but it had come back. So that's what I was hovering for. But I look over, they got tents in front of the guy's house and shit. So I'm like, either there was another break in the case or they're finding more evidence. I don't know if that trial is starting now or something. But, yeah, the news was there, everything. They're just doing another sweep through, or what they were doing. Because that happened a little while ago, right? When was that? Was that even over the summer? Last summer? I don't know. But part of me was like, oh, okay. Like walking through, other people were coming, people walking or riding their bikes. I'm just like walking through, like, alright. I just took a quick peek down and I saw the tents and stuff. I'm not the type of person that's gonna sit there and gawk and shit. I was like, okay, oh, interesting. And then I used to walk past that house all the time. When I lived in Massapequa, I would take walks up there, And I said, I always would look at the house and be like, it looked a little ran down, but a little hidden. I think there's bushes in front at the time. And then you find out, there's pretty much a serial killer living in there. But yeah. Then I went to IGA and picked this up and got a classic grape aid as well. I gotta see if they had the grape aids down in North Carolina. I wasn't like looking for Arizona iced teas down there. When I was in the Walmart in the Sheetz gas station, or the Food Lion, or the Lowe's, I wasn't looking for the Lowe's food, not the Lowe's hardware store. They are both there. I was looking for. I was looking for Mountain Dew. So I wonder if they have the grape aids down there. Though that'd be pretty sweet. I love the grape aid. It's crazy. I think I'm running out of vids to put up here. It's almost over. I know. I apologize too. I just made a weird sound. I know I'm just doing like pickups and a lot of drink reviews and stuff like that. Gameplay. I'm just trying to keep it simple. You guys like these vids anyway, but it's gonna get varied again when I get down there. And I get into a groove. I was have to do one last shady video here, which I will film. The pod's coming Saturday, so I gotta film that realistically by Friday. Because once the pod's here Sunday we're gonna fill it up. Once it's filled up, it's gonna pretty much be 90% filled. We're gonna leave the mattress in here for the time being. Then just throw that in. Probably the morning it's gonna get picked up, and then I have it get picked up. So then I'm not gonna really be able to film properly. So I'm trying to just get videos filmed. So I have them ready to go. And like I said, we might end up leaving earlier. If we leave by Wednesday, I wouldn't care at this point. It's funny. Like I'm getting emotional, and you're gonna miss it and stuff. I'm like, I should have played cards the other night. I'm like, oh man, Not that I won't be back up here and people will come visit down there, but it's not gonna be as much. And you're like, crap. But then the other party is like, it's so close, and we still have majority of our stuff in here now, but it doesn't feel like home completely. You're almost in like this limbo area, and you like, want to get down there and just start things up and just get the feel for down there. We're having some dinners before that, hanging out with people and stuff, and then just go and we'll leave at like 1 in the morning. best time to leave. Even like a 2 or 3, but because you blow past all the freaking New York garbage traffic. I remember this one time, I think we were going out to Jersey to see my uncle, and I mean, we got on the Southern State, and within like 3 minutes it was already traffic. I was like, oh my god, and that's the beginning of the trip. And typically, realistically, if there's no traffic, or even just say light traffic, you get out there in under 2 hours. Even an hour and a half. Because he's pretty close to over the outer bridge. He's not far from there. They're not far from him. Is my aunt. I'll call her my aunt. She was not his first wife, so I call her by her name. We go to see them. And there could be times it's like 3 hours, 3.5 hours. It's gross. Like, and same thing when they would come here. You know, it would take, you know, it could take a shit ton of time. You know, it's a pain in the ass. Anybody who lives in New York or lives on the Long Island, Queens, Brooklyn, Staten Island, the Bronx, you know, even going up into Westchester and stuff. And obviously Manhattan, but Manhattan's, you know, Manhattan's an old city, you know, extremely old city, so it's like a lot of these cities are not built for driving in realistically. They were meant for trains and trolleys or whatever at the time, walking. But man, and when you're coming back, you usually hit it on the, what bridge is it? The Verrazano. There's so many fucking bridges. And then you get like right around the thing, and you're like, here we fucking go. And then you start getting like, That will not be missed. And I don't even drive, but I'm in cars enough for people to see it. And I'm like, sympathy with the driver, whoever I'm with. Who's driving? It's mostly my fiance, so I'm like, part of me's like, how do you do it? Like, I wouldn't, just thinking about it's getting me anxious, you know. Yeah, there's a couple more walks I want to take throughout Islip as well. A few of the ones I like to take. It's gonna be hard, you know. I think once, you know, you get used to it and you're down there and we have all of our stuff. The first month actually is gonna probably be fine because it hasn't probably, you know, it's not gonna like set in completely like, holy shit, not, you know, the only times I'm going back is to visit. It's like we're down here for a vacation or something. But I think after that, when it sets in, it might be a little harder. We shall see. It's exciting though too. That's part of the reason. Like, you just want to get down there to get the move started, and the excitement too. A new town to explore and things to do. And like I said, I will be going to Florida. I haven't decided fully where. It might be late July now. I'll take the train down. I gotta change my ID over in June. I have an appointment for that. That's gonna be a little odd because I've always just had an ID from this state, so having another state's ID is it's gonna be weird. I'm like, oh my god. I'll probably keep the old one though, just to have it. Can't wait to start cutting that long weekly though, so I don't have to deal with it being thick as shit. I think I had said maybe in another video, the guy across the street, he texted, he's like, oh, I can cut the lawn. Because it was getting bad. Because I cut it in April, and then it had been another month. So I gotta think, I'm gonna get down there for that. Again. else too about coming back. Because I'm not the type that's gonna want. And people will offer, you can stay here, you can stay there. When I come back with my fiance, we can stay by your grandparents or aunt and uncle. But I don't have like family here that I would just be, hey, I'm coming up, you know. I have a few, like I said, cousins and aunt and uncle, and they're more out of the way. So, but friends and stuff, you know. I know they've let me, but I'd be like maybe come up for like 5 or 6 days and stay with someone for a couple of days, and then it's perfect because there's a hotel in Massapequa, which is nice. And so it's like I wouldn't even have mind staying there for like 3 nights, then just do my own thing too, you know. If people are out doing working and stuff, depending on the day, I can just walk down and do stuff myself. I have to set aside or my mind and not get nuts with the going back and forth, because I don't want to take planes. I'm like, not say I wouldn't, but because if I was just taking the plane myself, I could still just go to LaGuardia and then take the air tram to Jamaica, and then regular, you know, just back out to Massapequa anyway. I just hate the whole plane experience. I can't. I had not been, like until I met my fiance, I had not been on a plane. Last time I went on a plane was 94. I think I might mention some point. When I visited my brother in Atlanta. He was living in the Atlanta area at the time. And then I hadn't been on a plane again until 2016. I remember, like, I was like flipping out in my mind the night before. I was like terrified. I was like, oh my god, open space. Then I adjusted to it, and I've been fine. It's not even that. It's not the anxiety anymore about being on the plane. It's the crampedness of the plane. It's just the whole going to the airport, sitting there with your thumb up your ass. Now, when we've left, a few times we've left from MacArthur out here, it's actually much easier. There's not lines at the check-in, security lines. You boom, 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 boom. It's easy. LaGuardia, for the most part, is not a problem. Sometimes it can be. It's a little jammed up. I just get overly anxious in the airport because it's like, oh, pull this out, you gotta take this off, put that in this bin, that. I'm making a bigger deal of it in my mind than I should. But still, I'm more like, I don't want to hold up the line. I'm like, oh, we'll get this in what, you know, proper bins and all this shit. Sometimes they want you to take your shoes off, sometimes it doesn't matter. You know? But obviously it's the convenience of it being so much shorter than the train, or if you're driving. The train's longer than the drive. It's just because the train's stopping, a bunch of stops. But I don't mind the time. It's more the price, because the train, because I'd be getting a room. If it was under a 10-hour trip, I'd probably say, fuck it, I'll get a seat in coach, because it's not that long. Look, I like the room. Like Raleigh to, well, I'd be going to Kissimmee this time and leaving from Winter Haven, Kissimmee, Florida, because it's just, if you go to Winter Haven, if you're taking Amtrak down, it hits Kissimmee, I believe. It bypasses Winter Haven, hits Lakeland, then Tampa, and Tampa's like a stretch stop, so yeah, people stretch, get off the train for like 10-15 minutes, then back to Lakeland, and then Winter Haven. It's 3 hours more if you go to Winter Haven instead of Kissimmee. Now leaving, it doesn't matter. I can leave from Winter Haven, and it doesn't matter. Because it's when you're leaving to go back north, it's not going to Tampa. It's already done that, and now it's just going straight to Kissimmee or whatever. I think it's Kissimmee's the next one after Winter Haven. So I'll save 3 hours. It's not too much further from my mom and aunt, so they only have to drive like an extra 20 minutes or something. And then I could still leave from Winter Haven. But I'm like, I want to save 3 hours, because the last time I took that trip down there, the train was already 5 hours late. And I was like, oh God, I can't deal with this anymore. Because I think I talked about that in Washington, D.C., they had to change engines. The first engine was a dud. The second engine was a dud. They had to get another engine. It was like 3 hours there. Then I went to sleep, and this was somewhere in North Carolina. I wake up, I'm like, I'm looking out the window, it's dark, but I'm seeing trees. I'm like, where the hell are we? And then you hear, oh, they hit a deer. So they had to clean that up. Because I guess the poor thing got, splattered into the underbelly of the train or whatever. I'm like, really? that was rough. But I love the room. I love that room, man. I've done a few videos on it for this channel. And I'll probably do it again just because it's kind of fun. It's just a quick thing to do. But I just like the room. It's private. It's more costly. Like, it will be about a couple $100 less from Raleigh, obviously, than Penn Station, Moynihan, or whatever it is. But that's not something I can do multiple times a year because that's going to start to add up. You know, I mean, even taking the plane is not cheap, but it's you know, at least $500 to $600 cheaper than getting a room on a train. But a shorter trip, like if I was going 8 hours or something, I'd probably just say screw it to the coach seat. And if anything, if I didn't want someone sitting next to me, I could just buy 2 coach seats and it still would be probably $200 cheaper than the room anyway, if that was the case. Of course, with trains, you could have multiple people sitting next to you because if I'm on a 20-hour trip, someone sitting next to me on a 5-hour trip, then another person takes that seat, you know. But, that's down over there now. But planes just, I don't know. When you get on a train, I got off at Raleigh. That didn't matter. But getting on the train, I got on in Winter Haven, and I've got on in Moynihan, Penn Station. You know, leaving from here, now I took the Long Island Railroad into Penn, found where the Amtrak leaves from, Moynihan, I think it's called. Just chilled, nice big area. No seats, this place to plug in stuff, bathrooms, some food places. And then, okay, they call you, you go to a certain stairwell, you go down, boom. Someone tells you where to go, they look at your ticket or whatever, okay, this is where you go, done. Maybe, in a way, because there's no security, like, let's be honest, I'm just getting on the fucking train. But here's the thing, not that I've been on the train a ton, but nothing's ever happened. That's not to say something obviously couldn't, but and in Winter Haven, it's a small frickin' station. A little parking lot and it's got a hut like it would have at some of the Long Island Railroad stations. These huts are almost as big as the one in Winter Haven. That one you just sit and waiting, and if you're getting on, like I get on because I have a room, I'm getting on a car further up, and then there's a guy waiting because he knows who's getting on there, and they're like, oh yeah, okay, you literally just walk on and go to your room. No one's asking you to see anything. They'll look for your ticket. That's it. They're not like, oh, give me your ID, or you know, you look through your bag. But you have it takes longer. Like, say I just went to Kissimmee from here, it would realistically be about 22 hours. That's the whole trip. But if I was counting leaving from here to get down there, it's another, add another 2 hours because I got to take the train from here out to there, to Penn Station. Now, if I was taking the plane, you're gonna end up there at least 2 hours before, 2.5 hours before. It's like the whole thing is maybe 6-7 hours. But if you're counting the pickup from the airport as well to back, you're looking at longer. Because when I go to Winter Haven, it's like half the time it is to Orlando when they come get us at the airport. It's closer. Winter Haven's much closer. So it's more if you want to deal with it. Convenience-wise, the plane's always the way to go. And price-wise, realistically, it depends. So if you're taking coach and you want to deal with that, because you have 2 bathrooms, there's a lot of people on coach. If I was younger, different story. If I could hold it for fucking like 8-10 hours at a time, fine. But I'm not like that anymore. I like my convenience of being like, there's either a bathroom in your room, or there's one in your car, and it's like 8 to 10 people using 2 bathrooms, as opposed to 2 bathrooms being used for like 60 people. Ramble. I don't know however many people are. But yeah. I just, the plane just, and the crampedness of the plane, I don't, and I'm not even overly tall. I'm only 5'11". It's not like I'm fucking 6'5", 6'6", where you're just like, and real, you might have to, and that's gotta suck. Because I get cramped. If you have money, and you're flying with better, even with the extra space in some of these places, I'm not talking like a first class plane, because typically they don't have that going down to these hour and a half, 2 hour flights, So sometimes you can have a seat that has a little extra space. That still ain't enough. Like I said, I'm like 5'11", so, and I'm like, this is cramped for me. And my body just hurts, and I like to move a lot. I'm very fidgety, and I'm naturally moving. Like, if I'm like, there goes the cat. But yo. Hey, budgie. Yeah. I like to train too, just because you're seeing. I mean, there are, like, sometimes when you're up and you're flying and then you're just looking out at the sky, it's awesome to see, and especially when you start to descend and you're seeing everything pop into view. It's really cool. But the train is nice, although admittedly, the trip down to Florida or back up, there's like some really cool scenery, and then that's just a lot of industrial type shit as well. There was I think it was the time I might have been coming home from Florida, or maybe I was going down. But we were going through like a train yard, and there was like a giant train thing that had like the like flatbeds, we'll call them, on it. There was like 10 tanks. I was like, that's interesting. But you see some cool stuff, and then you see the people who are train watching. Because those Amtraks will go through towns. Or train spotting. It's a big thing people like doing. Because those trains don't go through fast. Like, the Amtraks don't hit like their top speed often, because there's so many crossings that I assume they're not supposed to be going 80 through. They'll pick up the pace from time to time when they're in the middle of nowhere and there's no stops coming up, or no, things where the crossings go down. And that one when they go into Tampa, they have to pull the train out and then back it into the station. It's like a 20-minute process. You could be sitting at these crossings for almost a half an hour. That's nuts. When we were in North Carolina, it happened. We come back from a restaurant with her dad, and we hit a crossing, and the train was just stopped there. So we went and left and found another way. That train could have been there for 45 minutes. Like it's like those crossings, you could be fucked if there's not another option further up or down where you're like, oh shit. The Long Island Railroad used to all be ground level. It's still ground level in Suffolk, outside of a few. It goes over a few kind of overpass type things, but all the stations are ground level. And it used to be, even in Nassau, it was all, well, up until Babylon. They raised it up from Babylon out. It's all raised platforms, and the trains are raised, so there's no crossings anywhere on the Babylon branch. It would have been too much of a pain in the ass. It would have been impossible. Like, the traffic would have been they had to change it. I think in the 70s they might have raised them up. I don't know for sure. But like I said, it's gonna be exciting though to get down there and get videos done. Utilize that garage. I'm excited to have a garage and a shed again, so I can film videos with different backgrounds. Admittedly, the garage isn't dank. Like, nothing's gonna beat that basement in Massapequa. I've said it a million times. That was great. That basement, I would assume, is redone or something, because the house I used to live in got knocked down and then rebuilt into a McMansion. That looks nice from the outside, but it's so out of place and on a small plot of land. that was perfect for the detective role plays. Any shady role plays, fucking the Fallout stuff. I might have to do another Fallout one when I get down there. Because the garage it's not really dank. But it will do. And then maybe I can do another one of the Firewatch type ones, because I have the shed. I did that one where I was stuck in the shed and something was so that's cool to have those options is nice. The basement was just so perfect because I'm not gonna go out and get a green screen and have a fake background behind me. You know, at the end of the day, it's up to the person watching's imagination, right? Like, especially if you have your eyes closed and you're relaxing, you're envisioning a scene anyway yourself. But a natural background like that basement is perfect. Like, that's the perfect thing when you can get that natural background that works. It's awesome. But it's gonna be fun to get back in there and do that stuff. It's gonna be fun setting up the game area and shit as well, you know. It's not gonna be like some crazy thing. I'll do a house tour, I think, after. You know, we have all the furniture in there and stuff. But it'll be nice to have the bookshelf with games on the damn thing instead of in drawers. Oh, yes. And having multiple consoles out so I can just be like, okay, I just need to plug in the AV cable into this, or plug this into the wall instead of taking it out of a drawer or a box, hooking it up, then gotta put it back away. You know, not that it takes a ton of time, but it's easy to just back. For me, it's gonna encourage me to do more gameplays from the older stuff, N64, Genesis, Super Nintendo, NES, what have you. You know, the stuff on the Game Boy Advance, and the Game Boy Color through the Retron and stuff like that. Urban Square. That'll be nice. PS2 and Xbox as well, I forgot. Get the Wii hooked up probably, I don't know. Pudgies. You can only see your tail really now. But yeah. Gotta bring her down on a 10-hour journey down there. I'm sure she doesn't know what's going on. She's not gonna know what's going on until the day comes. She might, when everything gets moved out into the pod, she might think, okay, something's up. Sorry about that. But I hate leaning on this because it starts to jiggle. And just figuring out all the spaces I'm going to film in. You know, I already filmed in that will be one of the primary filming spots I filmed was where I was in the kitchen. It's perfect little spot right there, you know. The gaming area, that lounge room, whatever we're gonna call it, there's gonna be other things there, so there's gonna be games. It will be another place as well. Obviously, I'll be using that garage. Shit, I can do rambles and shit in the garage. It doesn't matter, really. It's not dank enough to where I'm like, oh, I'm just doing it. I get to call them garage rambles. Shit, there you go, right? I don't think I ever filmed in the garage in Massapequa, which is stupid because I should have been, because that garage would have been perfect for some shit too, because that thing was a disaster. The walls were old. They had like writing and crap on the wall. We used to write. We used to hang out there and get high when we were in high school. My friends, we'd draw stupid shit on the wall. There's random posters and crap shoved up there. Oh, they were taken down by the end, but for a while I could have been doing that, yeah, because that was dank. Actually, maybe at the point there was so many of the cave crickets in there. That's a problem. I don't know. It's probably wherever all you guys live. I don't know how big of a problem it is where you live, but I know on Long Island, like the cave crickets love the dark, and they'll go in those fucking sheds or garages. Some were getting into the basement because it was a crack. And the cats were killing them, of course. Cats would go downstairs and be like, fucking heaven, shit they kill. But I was like, I'm surprised I never, did I? I don't think I ever filmed in there. I don't know why I wouldn't have. Maybe because of noise, probably. But it would have worked. But maybe I'll do garage rambles, garage drinking rambles, regular rambles in the garage, who the hell knows. I do need to restart the murder mystery thing, so I have to look in my book, see how things have gone, and start that up in terms of, I'll just be like, oh, we had to move to another building, maybe do that in the garage, be like, oh, we had to move to this garage, the power, something, whatever, I'll come up with something. That, or I just started fresh, I don't know. But I do want to go back to that as well. I was enjoying the two of those that I did. I probably should have just waited, but I didn't know at the time. I don't think I knew at the time. I can't remember. Let me see when the first one went up. Actually, real quick. Let me see. I gotta type it into the old content thing here. Murder. I'm just gonna put in murder. That should come up. No, wait. Okay. 3 months. February. So, you know what? I had already started those when I knew we were. Well, we didn't have. We were looking at houses at the time. God, February 18th. I apologize for that. I'm gonna try to continue it then. I'm not gonna try to start fresh. And I'll just be like, we gotta move to another place, another area, and I'll do it in the garage or another bedroom, same thing, whatever. We're in the study hall, whatever the hell you want to say. We're in the maintenance area. Figure that out. Like I said, the variation will come back. That fucking glare is coming in from the fucking... glare comes in from the window. And this camera picks it up actually more so than the other, because the other camera had the this one like adjusts its light or some shit, whatever the hell it's at. The other camera had the ring light on it, so it kind of blasted out some of that shit. So there's a couple of things I'm gonna have to look into when I get down there as well. But it's gonna be exciting though to have a ton more filming locations, and then to go back to doing that other stuff. When we were looking at houses in my mind, and I wasn't saying this to my fiance, I was like, we need this because I gotta make vids. I was like, thinking to myself, like, I want at least 2 of the 3 garage, basement, and shed. I wanted at least 2 of the 3, and I did get 2 of the 3. Preferably, the first one would have been a basement, and there was a house we were looking at. If we took this place, this was an old house too. This was built in like, when they say it was like 1924 or something. And it was really nice. My fiance was in love with it. But the crawl space / basement, so the crawl space we have now is like literally, I could probably squeeze in there and film a video, but it'd be kind of annoying. This was like a full-on, like you could stand in there, fine, there's space above your head, but it was crumbling and falling apart. The ground was destroyed. Like we were like, this is gonna be a problem probably for flooding and stuff. But that would have been a perfect filming space for some videos. Absolutely, like detective role plays, Fallout stuff. But yeah, I wanted at least 2 of the 3, and got it. So, and the shed's pretty beefy too. Although we're gonna be putting stuff in there, which is fine because that adds to the background and the atmosphere and stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna stop this now. I'm starting to get rumbles in my stomach, so I'm sure within the next 5 minutes I'll have to use the facilities. Use the bathroom. But yeah, I'll try to go an extra minute or 2 here. I think 40 minutes is good for a longer ramble, right? I think anything past a half an hour I consider a longer ramble, right? it's an hour-long ramble, I'm typically going to say it is. Like I said, though, excited to get down there. We both are, nervous, excited, and it's obviously going to be sad as well to leave. But I'm excited to explore town, go to the zoo, new adventures with my fiance, stuff like that. Hit the game store, find new Mountain Dews. There better be. Like I said, I was down there. They had a pretty good selection of them. Because where did Mountain Dew originate? Tennessee, right? Right next to Tennessee borders North Carolina. Tennessee borders a ton of states, I think. 7 maybe. It's close. So I expect serious Mountain Dew action. What did they have when I went there? They had Major Melon, actually. They had, which you don't see here anymore. They had Spark, which I think they start to discontinue Spark. That's too bad because Spark was really good. They're going to pull Livewire with Spark, although you can still find Livewire in some places. They had Voltage. They had... Every place has regular Mountain Dew, Code Red, and Voltage. I'm not talking diet and zero sugars, but like if you're going by just the regular Mountain Dew types. Mountain Dew Voltage, Code Red. They did have Major Melon down there, and they had... there was Spark I saw floating around. I think there was another... Oh, they think they had the Laguna Lemonade. I don't know if they had the other one, too. The Point Break Punch. They're pretty good selection, though, so... Oh, Baja Blast, because that's everywhere now. But anyway. This is a pretty decent... I was rambling about trains and planes, right? And just a drink review on this Canada Dry. I give this a 9 out of 10. I really like this. Like I said, maybe I'm overrating it. Let me know if you've had this, what you think about it. I like that, actually. It's a nice combo. And they